Hey everybody, welcome back. It is the Fantasy Rugby Yanks. My name is Jared Dyke.
I'm Ben Glauser.
Welcome back. I hope you missed us, and if you didn't, well, too bad. We're back anyways.
Yeah. Hopefully we can remember how to do this.
Yeah. How does one podcast exactly? Yeah. The real life thing got in the way last week. A little bit for both of us, but especially me.
Yeah, especially you. But it was rugby related, and it was
rugby related.
The kids. So
yeah, finally caught up to you
for the best.
Yeah, finally caught up to me. All my rugby.
Yeah, we've only been doing this for like 30 weeks straight. No big deal.
Right. Like I don't think we didn't miss a week last year. I don't think.
Did we miss one over Christmas?
No, because there was no Premiership, so we didn't do anything.
Oh, that's right.
We ended up doing episode 100 that weekend anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well, there we go.
Yeah. So there you go. All right. Crack them.
Yes, sir.
Download, rate, review on your favorite podcast apps. Share. Sharing is caring after all.
It is. This is pretty good. It is pretty dry. It's called Legendary Dry by the Free Jacks.
Other sponsor,
Storm Along, which makes excellent cider.
Yeah. Okay. By our friend George, the Fantasy Rugby Geek, a coffee. George was busy the last month and a half.
I've bought him a coffee recently, so
he'll still continue to be busy. That's just facts of this whole thing. But yeah, if you especially if you did well in the Women's Six Nations League, you owe that man a bit of gratitude. So buy him a coffee, buy him a beer, however you want to look at it. Give it a go. Grab your TRM upgrades. Obviously, we're out of Prem for a couple of weeks, but still, you want to grab those and get yourself some good stuff on the way into
some surprising lineups down the
stretch.
Especially
those last couple of weeks. I think we'll see some interesting lineups. So yeah, only helps. Promise. Only helps. And of course, you support our Restart Rugby, which was I believe was the theme this past weekend of the Premiership as well.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. So yeah,
that's also good for warm-ups and whatnot.
Right. That's a good thing too. So grab and get that too. As always, Black Lives Matter. There's no room for racism in sports or in life. And Ben and I were having a kind of a not a laugh, but just like it was almost just satire. It's like we should call it this instead, because it's not even just Black lives that are under attack. Now we got, especially in this country, we've got
women under attack,
and just misogyny running rampant. And it's just what the actual fuck. I can't even understand what we're like. What are we doing? Like to quote Taylor Tolman, what are we doing? Like, geez,
like it's beyond fucked up that we elect Democrats and it gets worse.
Right.
Like we're losing so much and we're gained nothing. I mean, it just reminds me, we had that our most downloaded episode, oddly enough, was the insurrection episode.
Right.
And it's like nothing's happened there. Like what the fuck? It's like it's like they've just given up. So
I'm out of faith for them.
I don't know. But yeah, if anyone can contact the UN to help, maintain human rights in the US, please do, because we need some sort of external intervention, it seems, because this is not
the internals aren't working well.
Yeah, no
doubt.
And the fucked up thing is that there's so many people out there who are like, well, we got to figure out who leaked this. We're talking about the decision for the the filing from Alito about Roe, and it's like, who cares who leaked it? Like, it doesn't fucking matter.
That's not the point.
The thing is the thing. Like,
that is not the piece of news here.
Right.
That is not the piece of news.
Talk about burying the lead. Oh, we got to figure out who leaked it. No. That's not what we got to figure out.
Time out. No.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
I'm just frustrated because every solution that's offered just gets ignored or insulted. Like, let's expand the court. No, we can't do that. It's sacred. Fuck you. It's sacred. Like, nothing. It's government. This is all made up.
Yeah, that's the truth.
We got to have the filibuster because it's super important. It's made up. It's a fucking like. It's like a high tackle
in your old ways.
Like, just change the rule. It makes the game better. Like, that's all you got to do. And they're just it's just stupid. So
Absolutely.
yeah, that's my rant. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm
a little frustrated by all this.
Yep, same. And I'm sure and I know we're not the only ones. So,
but that's why we do this, right? That's why we escape from the real world through rugby. So
no kidding.
On other things, but
fuck.
Like, when we go over to England, we can go and see the Packers play too. That'd be fun.
We'll see about that. I don't know if I want to spend that kind of money on that ticket. I'd rather spend it elsewhere, like on beer and other games. I imagine that's not going to be a cheap ticket.
Okay.
Yeah, those are not going to be cheap.
All right, that's the NFL. They'll fuck you.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Yeah. So in more exciting things. Well, not more exciting things, but more happy things. Grab our Patreon. We are coming to a close on both Super Rugby and Premiership, but doesn't mean you can't get value on it. And also, you can obviously cycle through to next year. By the end of the year, I will probably put out some sort of fun episode on Patreon that's got a lot of the bullshit that I cut out, so you can have a laugh at that. And
extended argument for Italy, Ireland.
Oh yeah, there's that too. I forgot about that. Yeah. There was a point where I cut that off. But yeah.
Let's just move on.
Yeah, there was a lot. There have been many extended arguments that have been removed from this because one, like, it's just way too much. It's like,
yeah,
some of them are like 10 minutes, and that's not 10 minutes that anybody needs to spend in their lifetime listening to that.
Unless it's at the end of the year and you just kind of want to laugh and hear.
Yeah, just like, wow, these guys are fucking morons, aren't they? I do want to, and then one thing I want to add into this here is I want to plug a friendly podcast, and that is Love and Rugby. It is hosted by our good friend Dave Prell and his wife Sasheen.
Oh, yes.
And if you want a little insight into club rugby here in America and what it's like, Dave is well over 40 at this point and still going strong. Scored this past weekend for his first time in like 7 years.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting to just kind of listen to them and talk about the thing, because of course Dave met his wife through rugby, which was amazing, as it always is. So she'll never make him stop playing, which is awesome.
Which is cool. Yeah, that's it's kind of the same thing as me and Jess.
Right.
We're not doing a podcast though, so it's kind of cool to listen to other experiences too.
Yeah. So if you want a little insight into club rugby and obviously Ben and I's club, go ahead and listen to Love and Rugby. It should be on pretty much anywhere you can get your podcasts. Okay. Six Nations final weekend. I did find it weird that the most important game was in the middle of the fixtures and not the end, but
odd.
Like, you couldn't rearrange that? I guess not.
Yeah, it doesn't quite make sense. You're correct. And it was just kind of an underwhelming weekend for really, not a lot of scoring. England France I thought was going to be like double this. I thought it would be like 48-24.
Yeah,
I mean, a little bit more high scoring, but it was a slugfest.
It started hot. Hot for France, but never really got to the level that they needed to be. France came out with their hair on fire in the first 5 minutes, and they kind of just went away in the rest of the half, though, unfortunately. And England are England, and they were able to do their thing.
Yep.
And they got all their tries in the first half, all their points, sans one penalty, I think, in the first half, but that was enough.
Yeah. Yep.
And France never really quite clicked on. They almost tried to turn it on at the end, and it's like, you're a little late, guys.
Yeah, too little, too late, unfortunately.
Yeah, a little late, ladies. Just like a minute late. Like, you're already down 24-7, like, or 21-7, 24-7. It was 24-7, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
at one point, I think it was.
Yeah, that's a little late for to start bringing the heat. But we had, still some good performances. Sarah Byrne has been a revelation.
Yeah. A little bit,
right?
I just love seeing. And Abby Ward too has really scored the try, was just a menace. All Six Nations too, when she was in there. Like, England have a lot to offer. I mean, this was really, it wasn't what we expected. Like, so don't get us wrong. I'm not complaining about the match. It was entertaining. It's just I was expecting a lot more fireworks, and it was really it was a different style than I expected. It was much more of a defensive struggle than I had anticipated. I thought both teams played well, and like I said, Abby Ward, really credit to her. You gotta love the Bristol Bears scoring, outscoring France.
Yeah, she is very good. Obviously, I've really liked her as a jumper even since last year. And yeah, so she's definitely a master in the air. On the other side for the French, I really we know Sansus. Chloe Jacquet, I've liked her since the fall. Honestly, I saw her play against the Black Ferns, and I was like, okay, this should be their fullback going forward. And I know it may not be because they still have Tremoulier in there, and Boulard, but she is a bit of a bright spot for their future in that back three for the French. So really love watching her play. I thought she was absolutely fantastic. Medusa Fall has been awesome the whole tournament, and I think she's in most teams, most people's team of the comp for sure.
Yeah, I think she kind of has to be.
Yeah, really hard to say otherwise. Yeah, and we talk about slugfest for this one, but remember, rewind to last year's final, and it was even worse. It was even worse. I think it was a Poppy Cleel try that separated them. That was it.
I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, it was Poppy's try, and that was, I think, that was all there was. It was some penalties in the end. So a little bit better. Yeah. In terms of comparison, much better. But yeah, I get what you're saying. We were hoping for what we had seen from both these teams throughout the comp, but it was always going to be a little bit of a tough ask for them to come up against the two best teams again.
Right. So, and also, yeah, there's going to be nerves involved because there's a lot of pride on the line here, and you're heading into a
World Cup,
and there's more to it. This was so much more than just a match between two teams, and I was, it's easy when we're, third parties being like, oh, she'll play good rugby. It's like, no, we're playing it. This is a championship match. It tightens up, and
yeah, bums get a little tighter,
right?
And one thing that I really want to just acknowledge overall, and we didn't get to talk about it last week, obviously, as well, but like the scene at Stade Jean Daguerre and the one at Welford Road, like fan freaking tastic, and rockin' doesn't even describe it. Like that was absolutely amazing to see. That I really was. That was the thing. Watching both of those, I was just like, this is awesome, and people are understanding how great this product is, and I only hope it just leads to good things going forward. Overall for the whole global game, not even just Europe, just the whole thing. So I'm really excited about that.
Which is why we talk about it's an investment in the sport, because you pay a little bit, you don't get much of a return on it right away. But I mean, England and France, those they're going to be making money off of this. So I mean, if they're not already, so per like Wales and Ireland, like get your shit together,
right?
And Scotland too, because it's huge amounts of growth potential, and you already have most of the revenue streams ready to go if you really wanted to. So get it done.
Yep. Get on it, you shitheads.
Yeah, speaking of Wales, whoever heard of Wales losing to Italy on the last second kick? I mean, that's just silly.
Never happened.
never in a million years. Yeah, no. Okay.
Never ever happens. But I mean, that's a team that's going to the World Cup and a team that isn't too. So to put that out. And speaking of attendance and stuff, to Wales's credit, they've done better with their attendance at Cardiff Arms Park. I think they're pushing it a little bit more, which they kind of don't have a choice at this point, honestly. Yeah, they have to. But at least you're starting to see it more, and anybody that's arguing this whole let's do it back in the same window thing, I don't agree with it. I love this separate window thing. Do it that way.
Yes.
Yeah, because
they
roll one after another too, which is great. Love it.
Right, they do it so well. Yeah, it was really well done, and to have like the different rugby personalities around each match, huge, just really good stuff. Making sure there's content creators that are being kind of honored with roles at this, as far as being around the match. So like we saw Stella Mills, we saw who was it from US?
Roach.
Yeah. Oh no, not the ref. Was it?
Oh, our old friend Karen.
I can't remember. Or was it one of the? I thought it was one of the Sevens players.
Oh well, Mara was at one of them. Yeah, I say Mara was at one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So it's like they're making sure that it's not just the players involved. It's all the people who have been involved in pushing women's rugby. They're getting a nod. So
yeah,
good stuff there.
Michalak was at this one, at the French game as well, so that was cool. Yeah, good old Michalak. Player of the tournament is one of these four players are not listed: Packer, Sansu, Byrne, Fall.
I'd say it was Sansu.
Yeah,
I mean,
she was super.
She was fantastic. Yeah, a friend. Imagine that as French scrum half being the best player,
being really good.
In Six Nations. I mean, shocker there, but she was head and shoulders. Like, yeah, because Scarrett, I think, didn't have her best tournament. No disrespect, it's just that.
Well, and she's still kind of getting herself shaking off the cobwebs. This was her first international foray since her leg.
Yeah,
so there's also that.
There's that. Packer missed a match, or at least. And wasn't, she was dominant that first match, but then never kind of met that again. Fall,
I think she's the breakout. I think she's the breakout player. We had not a lot of people that heard of Medusa Fall, you and I included, really, but this tournament just kind of put everybody on notice. Like she means business. So
right.
That's
Sarah Byrne could make a case for.
I agree with that as well. Actually,
I mean. I'm maybe I'll revise it to her just because for AA she scored 2 in the
this one
championship, and she's been scoring. She's just been a terror, either starting or from the bench, and she's the smiling assassin.
Yeah,
like what more could you want? Like just she could be that's the kind of person you'd want as like the face of rugby, even, and she's a prop, so.
Hooray!
I mean, what more could you want? Just a happy prop who can scoot by you.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's jump over to the Prem. Good old Friday night match. We'll start the AJ Bell because it's less exciting.
Yeah.
Newcastle were in this thing for a long goddamn time. And it's really disappointing that they still just can't get it done, honestly.
Yeah. I'm kind of disappointed in their lineup to play this match. I mean, Hodgson is not, and he played, the fucked up thing is he played pretty well.
Right.
Try assist. Like, he actually did a pretty good job. So I can't really fault him too much, but that's not, yeah, I don't know. Newcastle's kind of a mystery to me. They're well, first off, they have kind of their back row is like the worst in the league.
It's not a pretty one.
There's no movement there. Van der Walt's actually pretty good when he plays lock, so it's kind of weird to see him at when he plays flank, so it's weird to see him at lock because he's like the most mobile of the like back five there. And Robinson is you don't want to have your locks as your more mobile forwards. And their centers just they don't get much done. So it's just there's some good stuff there. What's good is good, and what's bad is just
poo. Quite
Yeah, quite poor.
Very, very poor. Yes, I agree. Um, and there's some mathematical thing that says that Sale could make the top four. I don't think that's happening.
Mhm.
So whatever they're finding a reason to play for, they need to continue to do this because, yeah. Otherwise,
Well,
I mean, they're still looking at Champions Cup, which is why AJ was
right,
held out this week. So that
right.
they need him redoing what he did on a nothing match.
Yeah, exactly.
So it it's hard for me to sit here and say that this was like an amazing performance by Sale, but at the same time, it's hard to shit on it because put
They're just
35 points on the
methodical.
board.
They're methodical. They will just beat you down, and
Mhm.
and especially a Newcastle team that's not really built to step up like that. Or yeah,
Yeah, I'm missing a lot with that one.
a lot to be desired.
Yeah,
I think is
yeah, that's accurate.
yeah.
That tracks. Let's go over to Franklin's Gardens because this was absolutely amazing.
This was amazing.
Yeah, this is good. This was.
This is what we tune into rugby to
This
watch.
is why you watch
was,
rugby.
yeah,
Absolutely,
yeah.
I agree.
Wildness, all the way through. Yeah, not sure what to say. Just two teams going right at it. And all the injuries early. I mean, well, we go to uncontested scrums pretty quickly.
Oh my god, like how unlucky.
Yeah, super unlucky. Carey gets hurt, like just non-contact injury. I hope he's okay.
Yeah,
but
no, it
I didn't
great.
see what happened. I didn't they didn't show a replay or anything of what happened, and I didn't really want to go back and watch.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, that just not good because he didn't look happy. They stopped it right away and were like, yeah, get this guy some help.
Big fella's done, yeah.
Right. And then Paul Hill taking the elbow from from Laws.
Yep.
Right on the button. Unfortunately, yeah, just not good. And Augustus going 5 minutes?
Yeah, he was gone pretty quick as well. Hinkley
Pretty
had
quick.
to come in.
And getting replaced by who was it? Oh, he's not on this list because he doesn't really exist yet. Oh fuck, what was his name?
Hinkley, I think.
Yeah, Hinkley. Fuck, what a match he had.
Yeah, he actually had a really good match. Yeah, Aaron Hinkley.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know why? Because he is a loanee for them.
Oh, okay.
He's a loanee for them, I believe, or maybe a mid-season signing or whatever.
Right.
It was.
No, I think he was something. He was like a late call-up kind of thing, and fuck, he had just an amazing. Was he man of the match?
No, I don't think so, but he was close.
But yeah. He's from the Chiefs. It looks like.
Yes.
TRM has him as the chief.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is, again, we talk about it. This is why you watch rugby. This is why this is what we want to see when we're out there, not the some of the more boring shit, and every team's guilty of it at one point or another.
Right.
This is fan-fucking-tastic stuff to watch, and this is how you get people to tune in. This is exactly how you get people to tune in. No question.
I'd watch this match. I'd watch 20 of these matches before an Exeter match.
Thank God they were on by.
Right.
There's a guy named on the Saints that wasn't well known until the season kicked off, and that was Tommy Freeman. And he, despite his injury, he's still putting his hand up for England go on tour to Australia this summer. And I would not be shocked. I know he was actually originally in the Six Nations squad, so
yeah,
I would not be shocked if he's getting on a plane here.
Who are you gonna bring? Jack Noel, Johnny Met? Fuck that. Bring the young kids. Bring them along. What's the worst that can happen? They'll fuck up. Ooh, who gives a shit? You're prepping for a World Cup run. Not like Noel's been all that great. He's been a speed bump. So, if somebody's gonna make a mistake, make it where they can learn and grow from it. It's so necessary. I can't, the game speeds up. You have to see it and be a part of it to grow at it. So And look at Stewart. Look at Freddie Stewart. How now it's like, you know what? Even if Malins is out there, I would put him at the wing with Stewart at fullback.
Right.
No problem. Like, but it took him a little bit. And Stewart has grown so much as an entire player. Like he had his attacking has improved so much. So yeah, get free, and not that Freeman's attacking needs much help.
No,
but get him the fuck out there. Speaking of which, why have we been watching Ben Youngs play at 9 when fucking Alex Mitchell's right there?
I know. He's really good, and you have to take with every player you pick, especially with a young player or a player that doesn't have a lot of international experience. You have to take the growing pains, and he'll have some. I mean, we even saw him in this match, but for what he offers at the top end of his game, it is absolutely necessary to get him back involved. The attacking skill that this guy has is, and he has to take a break every once in a while and just feed the ball to his forwards and his 10, but you can't blame him, because when he does get the bit between his teeth, he is electric. He's absolutely electric. So he needs to be on a tour soon here.
And on the other side, what the fuck is up with Hugh Jones at 15?
It's working. That's all I know. It's working. I didn't have that down on my bingo board, but it is working quite well. Like, damn.
So, excuse me. What's fascinating to me about him is that, you know how most 15s, they end up either as like kind of a second receiver, or they kind of end up as like a wing kind of player. So they'd be out there with the wing. He plays fullback, but he supports like a center.
No, that's his given position.
Right. So he'll run those switches. He'll run those inside lines, and he knows what he's looking at because he's used to being in that kind of like tight space, and he knows where the gaps are. So like, it's working so well. That's so much fun. Really happy to see him succeeding.
Another fullback at Quince.
Right. And I think we were talking about it ourselves, in between our last pods. But like, obviously we just like to watch good rugby. Listen to us. We're Sarries supporters, and we have nothing but complimentary things to say about Quins.
Right.
Like, we just want to watch some good rugby, and it's a lot of fun to watch both these teams.
Yep. Right now, I definitely love it, and Saints put themselves in pole position too. It's great. And
Exeter slouches back a little, just a little bit in this match. We'll get to them a little more later.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the devil, there was another match on Saturday that was, and I haven't gotten a chance to watch it because as soon as I saw the scoreline, I was like, I don't need to go watch that match right now. That's not that important.
It's not. It wasn't. But I mean, it was. Yeah, it was what the scoreline says it was. Where like, they never had possession really. Oof. They didn't really do much. It was not good, and
really,
yeah. But it did have there was a lot of fun. I mean, Lewis Rees-Zammit, 2 tries, 2 try assists, like just involved in everything. Carreras was fantastic. I mean, it was weird that Ollie Thorley didn't play bad. He just kind of got lost in the shuffle. He didn't get enough opportunities because, I mean, like that entire back line, Atkinson, Harris, like there's nothing stopping them. Like that's, and Freddie Clark, it's funny, like he kind of disappeared. He only got the 15 TRM points because he didn't have to do anything. They were never on defense. He's the top like defensive point scorer, one of the top defensive point scorers. They weren't on defense, so we only had 15 points. Like,
didn't have that down, so I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. And Alamano had the try. So it's like, yeah, like he kind of got fucked, and he didn't have a bad game. He just didn't have much work to do. But who did have some work to do was Jamal Ford Robinson. I
got all kinds of time for JFR.
Just you have to go check out his try on the Twitters. He retweeted it, but like prop on the wing, like Ackerman supporting him on the left and then realizing that he's got the try and just like going nuts cheering for him. And Ford Robinson's try, just his expression afterwards, big eyes, like did I do that? Like, I mean, he was basically his Twitter avatar.
That's funny.
Huge eyes. Yeah. Like, and just a worldie from the prop. That's nothing but good things to say about Gloucester in this one. Just tonked him. And Bath have a lot of hard mirror looking to do.
Yeah, I'm sure Van Ground's going to give them some riot act stuff coming in here.
Yeah, there's very little heart. It's really, this was bad. I mean, there's certain the usual characters, Underhill and Falatau. You can't
losing Falatau.
Nothing. They're losing Falatau, but Underhill can look himself in the mirror and be proud. I mean, he just always lays it out there.
Yes.
Ben Spencer had an off, I mean, how can you say he had an off day? Like, fucking the whole team did, but basically everybody else needs to take a look. Bad shit going on
there. Let's jump up to Leicester and Welford Road.
I did not catch this one, so I'll let you.
Yeah, I got about a half of this in. Really, in the the one thing that we got to talk about, and I know we said we wouldn't say nice things, but we have to say nice things because he's worth the nice things. Tom Young's being honored pre-game, and as much shit as we might have talked about him, he was done long before this. But at the same time, it's sad to know that he probably wasn't going out on his own terms, and that's what you want when it's possible. You want to leave the game on your own terms. So that is very sad, and I feel bad for him in that sense. But there's not a lot of people that have a bad thing to say about him in the end. So
that's what amazes me, because for as much as a cock as the guy is on the field, everybody loves him. So
there's something there.
There's something that I got to, all respect to him. That was the thing. Like, I don't have to like a guy to respect him. And part of the more you respect somebody, and if you don't like him, the more you don't like him. You know how that works. So it's like, and it was because we saw him kind of at the tail end of his effectiveness. Maybe he didn't get to make this decision, but he had every opportunity to make this decision and chose not to. So, I'm sure during when he was at his in his prime, just a terror, and apparently
he was very good. Yeah,
really good guy. So
can vouch for that.
Yeah,
can vouch for that. So and obviously we wish him well, and I know his wife's not well right now either. I mean she's getting better, but
we talk a lot of shit on the Youngs, but we like, they're human beings. We respect,
Yeah, I'm not telling them to freaking go, eat shit. Yeah. I just there's a difference between that and just not like him as a player. There's a big difference. To the game though, it looks like I missed I watched the right half because effectively Leicester just blew the doors off him eventually, and at least Bristol stayed in it for a little while. But in the time that I did watch, I got to see Chris Ashton grab the hat trick and the record, and fantastic on him, and just wow, what an achievement for him. And he's got a record here, he's got a record in France. Like, what are you going to say about the guy?
How, like, is he just so I don't know, but he's another guy everybody seems to love, but like, is it just that he pisses off coaches? Because how is it that he's like, he never stuck with a team? He's one of the ultimate journeymen, and yet, like, if you want someone to score a try, you fucking pick Chris Ashton, because he'll do it. Like, he scores like they're easy.
Yeah.
And yet, like, he's played for pretty much every team in the Prem, and then some. Like, how do you do that? I don't know how it's possible to play for play multiple years for like 10 teams.
Yeah, that's the mystery, obviously.
Yeah.
It's got to be something going on with he and coaches, and just doesn't get along with them and whatnot. But he does score tries, and
to me, that's on the coaches. Like, how can you have someone like Chris Ashton and not get along with him? How can you not just suck it up and be like, yeah, okay, Chris, just do your thing, like, whatever. Like, it's like, kind of an Allen Iverson situation. Like, he's not going to show up for practice. He's going to like just go off on somebody. You just be like, okay, just
Shut up and go to your corner and score.
Right. We've all been around players like that.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there's no reason to fight with him as a coach. You just
yeah,
let him deal.
Over it.
Yeah,
get over it. And Sheedy came off in this game, unfortunately. Did not look great. Did not look awesome. So I don't know if we're going to see him this summer.
Yeah,
that looked pretty nasty. He was helped off.
Oh no,
so, no bueno. Leicester, continue to cement themselves. I think they're all but into. Yeah, they're nailed down for a home semifinal now.
Yep.
Given all their other results, so they're good to go. Good luck. Anyway, that's got to travel there. Have fun. Have fun. Another team that's currently in pole position for the home semifinals, of course, the Saracens. Went to 6 ways. Didn't put up the number that. Yeah, very under. It was. They didn't put up the number that everybody thought they would, but at the same time, it was very clinical. It was very effective, and that is all you need to be against Worcester.
Right. And I mean, the Tom Howe try at the end that kind of makes it look a lot more respectable because then they got him over
over 10.
So, but this was with I thought Shagan once again kind of I mean he scored, but he also had his issues and the Saris did a little bit, they had some, Worcester moments of their own, but at least they were attacking. It was like one of those, they played the kind of the way the Harlequins play. They tested the Worcester defense and won much more than they lost. So, they didn't always finish. They had kind of struggled to finish here and there, but then they decided to give the ball to Max Malins and they scored tries. So there you go.
As soon as he got in his hand, he thought it was going.
Yeah.
He had something like 6 or 8 carries and he scored 4 tries. I think at least 1 or 2 of those was a carry off a kick. So
right.
I don't know if you can count any of those. So really, his most effectiveness was definitely ball in hand, obviously.
And then doing his Benroll patented.
Oh God, yes.
Intercept try.
Yeah, and it wasn't even an intercept. It was just scooped off the deck after a terrible line
pass. Yeah,
just
I was right. Like it. Yeah, it's right. Just a swat and.
Nope, that's not a good idea with him around.
No, it's not.
And I mean, what the argument is against Owen Farrell, I'm still out on. Honestly, I have no idea what the hell. I don't get it. I mean,
I get that
he pisses people off. That's the number one thing. Really, that's where it is.
Yeah.
He pisses people off.
He does.
That's it. That's where it is. That's all I've got right now. Because at this point, there's no other reason to dislike him in terms of playing for England.
He's got the Sidney Crosby smirk, like
your favorite
thing going on. Oh, so I get it. I get it. But at the same time, like he's not as much of a douche. He kind of is. He does. Yeah. Okay. No, you got this. Okay, that's what it is. But at the same time, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I and because he can do it all. That's the other thing about him is that it's not like he's physical and he's a line stepper on physicality wise. But like he can pass, he can kick, he can play loose, he can play it tight, he can play whatever style you need. I mean, him and Marcus Smith, I mean, there's no reason he can't play 12 because he can run those. He runs those hard lines when he wants to.
Yes.
Like he's a punishing runner. He attacks the line, but he'll do like that Sexton kind of thing, but he'll also deliver a blow as he does it.
Yeah.
Unlike Sexton, he'll just take it.
Yeah, he makes you hate that you've decided to do that sometimes.
Yeah. So right. I mean, I am super excited about that to see him playing 12 for England with Marcus.
Yep. I agree. And the other side of it is everywhere he goes, people want him, even if he's not voted as like a captain. People want him in the leadership room.
Yeah,
like the Lions talked about both for both tours that he's been, or at least two most recent tours. And even he was in the Saracens leadership run way before he was captain. Like,
right.
He was a part of that conversation long before, and England, same thing. So there's a lot there that most players can't give to a club. And to sit there and say that he's not valuable for even that alone is really kind of just a yawn argument at this point. And I'm just done hearing it. Like, he belongs in the England team if they want to win. End of story. Sunday game, didn't get to it myself, unfortunately, but looks like it put a few points on the board.
Oh my, you need to see this match, sir.
I know.
I'm so just
I saw the score. I was like, wow, that's a score. All right, I'm gonna get there.
It ended on a penalty try.
Oh, okay, because that's never happened before.
But it wasn't it. This was the Wasps match. They were fucking cruising. No real problems for the most part until the Irish did their London Irish things and came back and just scored. Arundel came on. That was the change. Really? He came on with like 12 minutes to go. 20 minutes. He came 20 minutes. He went on 20 minutes, and suddenly they were clicking. And he and Hassel Collins were running with each other. And they were just scoring. They just pounded tries over. And then in the end, Wasp just made a couple of bad penalties, and Launch pulled down the maul on the try line essentially, and the ref was I think it was CMK. I can't remember who it was. Was just like, fuck that. I'm going. He went pretty much right to the sticks. Like, there's nothing more I can do with this one. It was a clear penalty try. So, it
was CMK.
Yeah, I mean, and I thought he did a pretty fair job, on the whole. But especially that end, that's really he earned it. So, a lot of good stuff for Wasps, but they just didn't finish. And they really had every opportunity to. You got to just hold a team out. They just couldn't even quite do that. Kind of real disappointing.
Yeah, really unfortunate in that case.
It was hilarious. Wait, who was it? Where was I? Because it was Hugard and Porter trying to make a tackle on. I was like Tui Sui or something like that. It was just hilarious to see just two scrum heads trying to take down a large player and kind of struggling a little bit, but
struggled mightily.
Right. It was Hugard on the wing kind of already tells you it's not.
Definitely
I don't get that. Why was he out there instead of Udogwu?
No idea.
I don't quite get the decision making there.
That one scratches my head too. Yeah.
And Umaga, he didn't come in till he came in 2 minutes left. He came in right at the end. And it's like, what do you? He's been so good at 15. It just beats me. Very questionable all over the place. You have Kubarigi at 15. Like, you could that lineup
slide
just
him over. Yeah,
right. Slide him over. Put Umaga at 15. Hugard. I realize he can play wing, but come on, man. Like, I know they're trying to get him some playing time, but you still have a shot at like they're not in the top. They're not going to Champions Cup right now.
No, because they're not. No, they're still on the outside looking in right now.
Yeah,
needed that dub. All right, let's jump over to Super. Managed to catch a few of these, thankfully. Reds,
I couldn't see all of them. I didn't see that one because it wasn't available on Flow.
Right.
Until yesterday.
Yeah. No, I managed to settle down and watch this one. Chiefs were very good and almost clinical in many ways, and Reds were missing James O'Connor was a little clear, and Lawson Crichton isn't bad by any means, but OC is just a different level right now. Tubovai is playing out of his skin right now.
He's ridiculous.
He really is good, and he'll be in almost every All Blacks team at this point. we had, I think one the biggest talking points were two decisions on head contact. One of them was Angus Blythe, who was declared bent at the waist and trying to make a tackle, and one of them was, I'm trying to think of who it was.
Finau, who
Finau.
deserved, that was a red.
So, and I
saw that one. Yeah,
I was like, yep, that's unfortunately going to be a red. And there was also, and I think there was one other thing, but yeah. Anyway, yeah,
Campbell got a yellow, but I can't remember. I don't know why. I don't think I saw it.
I saw it was an intentional knock.
Okay.
It was an intentional knock.
I watched the highlights on Flow because that was what was available, and I was like, you know what? Because I was going to watch another match, and I'm like, all they're going to do is tell me the score of this match, so I might as well watch the fucking highlights. So
that's the truth. Reds lost Daniel Atupo, as we found out later on, for the season, which really sucks, and is also going to make Dave Rennie sweat a little bit too for what's coming up in the summer here. You know, and there's a guy that's that's really disappointing me in the last few weeks, and not just because he's on my fantasy team, but Felipe Daganu has just been a ghost.
Yeah,
I don't know where he is. Like, where is the guy that we saw last year that was just tearing teams apart? Paging Filippo. Right. No idea.
APB.
Yeah, beats the shit out of me. So you know, I have to say, the Chiefs have three really good scrum halves right now.
They do.
Baltimore played really, really well.
Yes,
they have Xavier Rowe, who they love, and then obviously they have Brad Weber, who's the incumbent. So it's a lot going well in that scrum half.
I'm quite happy. I mean, I kind of spotted, you know, when the Radama, his first appearance this season, I was like, you know what, that there's another one right there, because and he's been really consistent with that. He's been you know, a terror when he's been on there. Really, you know, a threat, active runner, stressing out the defense, and to see him get over was pretty. What he got, PETA gave him the offload, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
PETA Gus, and then PETA Gus got his own. Those two guys together, I'm super happy for the way their season's going.
Going on up,
and the guy on the other side, Bryn Gatlin too. He's been putting together quite the season. I mean, he's pushed, basically he's made Chase Tiatia a 15 at this point.
Well, and he's pushed Josh Ioane.
And Joshua, I'm sorry, Josh Ioane. That's who I was thinking, and I couldn't even remember because where the fuck has he been?
He's been kind of out there, kind of not there anymore.
Because Gatlin's just been an excellent 10.
He's been doing well. And then to do Force and Blues. It was nice to see a lot of fight out of the Force in this one. You know, this is obviously a very tough Blues team that's coming into town. I still think they left it again a little late. I know they got the thrust try with about 20 to go, but still, I feel like they didn't really turn it on until that second half, that final quarter there. And against the Blues, you cannot do that.
Right. You got to play full 80. You
really do. And credit to the Blues, though, that final possession for the Force was 25, 26 phases, didn't give away a penalty, didn't concede the points, and managed to finally get it back for themselves and boot it out. I was like, what? I thought for sure a penalty was coming. Like, once they reached 19-20, I was just like, there's got to be a penalty coming here, isn't there? And nope, never conceded.
Well, that's the smart thing, because you don't, doesn't matter if you give away a penalty. You don't want to. I mean, you don't want to, but they have to score a try. So, like, all you worry about is keeping them out. Like, if you don't necessarily have to you don't have to give away a penalty, because you don't have to really try too hard. You just wait them out. Eventually, they'll knock it on, or the situation will present itself where they're vulnerable, and you can go get that turnover. So.
Yep, good on the Blues for being patient and finally getting it done.
Right.
And then,
which is surprising to hear for a team like the Blues, who are quite the open play team, and are willing to make those kind of mistakes, because let's just score points. That's kind of a championship way to close, a champion's way to close out a match.
Yeah, and we'll see if they're raising a trophy by the end here. Over to Suva, and this is exactly the type of thing that we've been excited about for the team like the Fijian Drua, and what a crowd at ANZ Stadium. That is exactly what we're hoping for when we're talking about these teams. And they put on a show. They didn't come out on the right side of the result, but man, they really put on a show that was fan freaking tastic. And oh man, that is so exciting to watch. Just I just wish they got the win, but man, that was great. That was just so much fun to watch, just the same.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you want them, for them just to compete at this point is a win. It doesn't matter what team they're playing. They're obviously not one of the better teams, and not that the Highlanders are themselves, but they're still, being the worst of the New Zealand teams is not it's not something to sneeze at. So yeah, it's never going to look good for Fiji, who've struggled against pretty much everybody anyway. So this was a great result, I think. In the end, this was a much more positive outcome than you really could have expected. If you were a betting individual,
right? Yeah, and there was, I mean, the Lamani try right off the bat. I was like, okay, this is going to be fun today, isn't it?
And that's the good thing too. You need to, it's so important to have that kind of open, because you want to like really get the fans into it and get them behind you. And they did the first 20 or so minutes.
And the Habosi try is like from nowhere. That was out of nothing. It was out of absolutely nothing. And just, they were chucking it about and it worked. I was like, that is absolutely fun. Like, just, I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. I love everything about it.
Right. And then Revuvu goes over. Like, they're just, even and they're giving up points too, but you're scoring points. You're then, you're getting the crowd in it, and you're getting yourself into it too.
Yep. And then I have to say, I haven't loved him most of this year for the Highlanders, but McKelly too played probably his best game I've seen this year so far. And I don't think anybody would argue that, because he scored the try, but even before that, it looked like he was about to take off again.
Yeah,
like he was on something. I don't know what, but he was on it. And maybe he's healthy. It might just be that he's finally whatever was bugging him at the beginning of the season is no longer bugging him. Yeah, that could be a possibility as well. I won't deny that. Playing hurt and playing healthy, they're never the same. They're never the same.
Yeah, because there's certain things, like, you got to play. You got to play differently. There's certain things you can't do. You can't push yourself, because you got to make sure that you're not overexerting, and you got to take a tackle instead of trying to defend. Like, there's just little things.
Agreed.
So yeah, that's my diagnosis here. Is my expert opinion.
That might be it right there. And then over to Leichhardt Oval, and probably the upset of Super Rugby so far. Taz taking down the Crusaders. I didn't get to watch this yet, but I heard about it because I jumped ahead in the weekend.
Right.
And I'm gonna have to go back and watch this one.
You will. It's a fantastic match, because the Taz jump out to the lead. Dylan Peach right off the bat. And then Nwaka Nawasi not long after. And then it was just, because you know the Crusaders are not going away. They're going to do the Crusader thing at the end, where they're at least in it. And so it's down to just making sure you defend well. You stay out of the bin. Although they didn't quite do that. But at the same time, was it Dalzell got he got lucky too. So he got he had a shot that should have been there should have been a right, like, but he comes on, and then immediately there was like a headshot, but there was mitigation. So I think it was just negated to nothing. I think they treated it as a rugby incident, and then almost immediately afterwards he gets red card, and it's just like, yeah, it was one of those, buddy. Oh, we're looking at you again. Okay, well, you got lucky the first time. There's no reason to think of it as incidental this time, and it was a clear red. So not a that's how you unfortunately sometimes that's how you have to beat the Crusaders. Like one of them does something that's that's not Crusaders rugby on any level.
No, I'm sure Robertson would say that as well.
And yeah, you don't know red, not you get lucky once, you put it away. And then Matera got a yellow right afterwards. So they were down to 13.
I can't
remember what the yellow was for exactly, but an earned yellow. And
silly.
Yeah, that just allows the Taz just to kind of close it out. So
damn.
Yeah, really. And Gamble played a huge match again.
He's been brilliant.
He's been fantastic. And the lettuce, the whole flow. It's not even just the lettuce, it's the hair and the stat. It's just fucking
that's the luck.
Make a statue of it because it's fantastic. and his game matches, so just excellent to see.
Love it. Love it. Back up to AB Park because we haven't been there recently. Rebels and Pacifica. This is another one that I was unable to capture with my eyes.
Didn't get this one.
Yeah. Looks like Pacifica gave him a game. So
yeah,
good on them. And again, this is like we talked about with the Drua. This is sometimes that's all you can hope for.
Mm-hmm.
And
I feel like Moana are a little bit better, but also at the same time, the Rebels are much worse than the Highlanders. So
I think I would agree with that. I would wholeheartedly agree with that.
But the Rebels also aren't bad, and I'm guessing they seem to be coming together a little bit. So
slowly but surely.
Yeah, and Reese Hodge is back on form. So
good. It only does good things for both the Rebels and the Wallabies. So.
Right.
Jump over to GIO Stadium, Brumbies and Hurricanes, and I'm
not going to make you dwell on this one for too long.
I mean, it hurt, but at the same time, like you heard the numbers, and I was watching. I was like, we're getting way too many opportunities to be down, and that was the simple fact. Like we kept spoiling opportunities left and right. Rayasi and Fasavea both had over 100 meters, like. And that
25 points is
the Billy Proctor try was fucking amazing too, and that is what they're capable of, and that is what annoyed the holy fuck out of me for this match. I'm like, we can do that, and we're not doing it. Like, goddamn, I was so annoyed. I was like, come on, guys, like, did you see what you just did without they didn't even look like they were trying on that one. They just kind of this was it, and it worked. It was brilliant, and I'm like. When you actually put your goddamn mind to it, you guys can freaking absolutely own this team. And they decided not to, apparently. So I was like, fucking idiots. Right. I was so, it was frustrating.
I know how you feel because that's the way the Chiefs have been in the, back when, DMAC was playing with them. They did a lot of shit like that. And even now I yell at them. I just feel like, I know how you feel. The Chiefs, I think are a little bit better, and that's no disrespect to the Hurricanes or you, obviously, but I feel like we're all in the same boat. It's just I yell at the Chiefs less than you do with the Hurricanes. So I think that's the only difference. So yeah, although the Chiefs obviously they're beating the Reds is. I'm not sure the Hurricanes.
We've already done that.
Oh, that's right. You did.
We've already done that. So meh.
Yeah.
Meh to you. The Brumbies are an excellent team, and you can't fault them. The Valentini try was, I had to clap. I was like, that's awesome. Out scooted everyone to get there. Yeah,
he's so good.
He is. He's really, really good.
And the hair too.
That top, man. The lid does it. The lid does it. On the other side,
I'm not excited to play against them this week.
No, they won't be. They won't be a party. I can promise you. On the other side, the Hurricanes have somehow managed to produce yet another quality back rower with TK Howden, who's since starting. Like, I don't have a reason to bring Reed Princep back right now because he's playing. This guy's playing out of his mind. I mean, I'm not gonna say no when he comes back, but man, he's certainly making life easier. Since he's not playing, and I think Dewey's unavailable as well. So really like look at him. Brendan Yose's out as well. So really like and look at him. The Hurricanes can put things together, and then they just have moments where I'm like, what the fuck did you just do? Giving away the Valentini try was all down to just complete stupidity. And he put the effort in to get it done, but at the same time, it's like, what the fuck were you guys doing to begin with? So yeah, moments like that just make me tear my hair out. Oh well, that's how it is. And the Sangster yellow card, it was such a stupid one. Like, why did you need to do that? Tell me what was accomplished by doing that, other than the fact that we all want to pop Nick White in the face. I get it. Like
we do.
Like I agree. I don't disagree with it, but goddamn, like do it in a way that's not gonna get you a yellow card. You dumb shit. So yep, feel that, but screw it. Oh well. Okay. So let's jump to the MLR real quick. Quick whip around. So Ben was in attendance. I watched the replay later on. Free Jacks down the Utah Warriors, and they now have ownership of the longest winning streak in MLR ever.
They do, and it's only going to increase.
Let's see. We get Old Glory, and I know Old Glory is going to be mad about everything, but at the same time, they're still not very good.
Right.
So sorry to say. So there's that.
The match itself this week was. Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought just from what I was watching, I love those centers. I really do.
They're so good.
They're absolutely fantastic. Mitch Wilson back in form, which is awesome. I was really happy to see Fife, because that was the Seattle match that you and I were both at, and he was grabbing stuff and he looked very uncomfortable. So I thought for sure that was something broken in his shoulder, and thankfully it was just a couple cracked ribs. So that's something that you can play with or at least get over fairly quickly. So that was awesome. And Johnny Poland, he's a 9 that's not talked about enough, and he will be now that he's on one of the best teams, if not the best team in MLR. But like even before this, he was back to the inaugural season that got canceled. Like he was still one of the best 9s in the league. Nobody knew about it because he played for us. Yeah. Now everybody's gonna find out how good he is, because I love Johnny Poland. Just love that dude. Like, don't ever pull him if you can help it.
And they have so many, they had so many just playing around with the ball tries. They had a couple where they played around with the ball and didn't score, but they're just they break the line and then they move the ball around. And it's like teams, you cannot, I don't care who you are. You can be the Crusaders back there. If you get you get a line break on a defense and then just play with the ball behind the line, like you're gone. It's over. And that's what they do. They had one try that was like they had a line break and then 4 passes or something like that after the line break. You're not going to stop that. And they just work together really well on it. So just so dangerous. Yeah, Poland is there with his inside scrum half line. I think that's where Mitch Wilson scored off of that. It was like Fife and Milan and Waka and Mitch finished. And it's like, gotta love it.
You love it. You gotta love everything about it.
And my wife made me stop talking shit at Mikey Teo, because he was bad, and I was letting him hear it.
There's a reason Gary Gold's not picking him anymore.
Yeah,
who was also in the house.
He was.
Yeah, Gary in the house.
Right. Mika Kruse luckily he didn't get the ball nearly enough.
Thank God.
I was very happy to see it. Like he was their one of their only threats.
Yeah, so. He is their threat. There's no doubt about it. So yeah, good.
And I think it was Van Vuren who had to go to the hospital. So
yeah, that looked ugly.
He just got. I didn't see obviously
he just ducked in. Yeah, ducked into the wrong spot. Really.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I just saw him get smooshed.
Led into a tackle, ducking, and it wasn't a good idea. Well, the way he
because it didn't look like it didn't look like it was foul play or any kind of bad tackle. It just looked like he got smooshed backwards and never got up.
That's really all it was.
Yeah,
sucked. Elsewhere, LA won at Rugby ATL.
Wow, that's confusing.
Yeah, don't mess with it. Dallas Jackals lost again. Big surprise there. They lost to the Legion. Rugby New York beats NOLA in New Jersey, so Rugby, New Jersey. Yeah, again, as I've said before, NOLA's not that good. Like, don't get it confused, kids. Gilgronis again are still pretty good. They beat Seattle. Leaves some interesting things going on in the Western Conference. Legion are now ahead of Seattle, and they actually have a game in hand on Los Angeles. So we could see them jumping up real quickly here if they're not careful.
LA has
all the way around. You're right. Okay, so never mind. I'll shut up about that. Oops.
But the Sabercats are lurking.
Yeah, they have a game. They have a game in hand on the guys in front of them. Yep. Yeah, maybe that's where my brain was originally at, and I obviously crossed my wires. So yeah, that 2 through 5 is close in the West. So just hang on to your hats and watch what happens over there. Other side of the coin, really, it's 2 and 3 kind of have a fight. Toronto has a lot of run to work. Yeah, really, that's it. Yeah. Toronto's gonna have to do a lot of work.
It's between ATL and New York for the home
semi or home quarterfinal.
Yeah.
That's what it'll be at this point, because Toronto's got a lot of work to do, and they have a lot of home games left, which is good, and that'll help them.
But it's not like they have great point differential. They've given up more tries than they've scored. It's not
helpful.
Yeah, it's not that they can't, it's that the signs, all signs point to no.
All signs point to no bueno.
Magic 8 ball.
Yeah. Yeah, right. So, oh well.
Right. The Free Jacks are just fantastic.
We're getting there.
Loving it. And then they get to play Old Glory this weekend. It's gonna be
who have 2 wins, one of those being against Dallas.
Shit show.
Yeah,
right.
Who hasn't won a game? Who'd they beat? Who's their other win? Was it Utah or San Diego? I think.
I cannot recall.
I think it was Utah. So Utah. Not good. Okay. So hopefully you all missed us a little bit, at least, because we're back and we're back in the saddle, and looking at my schedule, I don't foresee that happening again, thankfully.
No, I think we're clear till at least till the end of the Prem, I think. Right. So good for us.
Yeah, that should be good to go. My personal rugby season's winding down. The kids will be done by the end of the month, I think. So
okay.
Yeah, we'll get there. Winding down. Yeah, school is ending soon.
You wouldn't know it from the weather. Shit, it seems like it's like very, very February, March weather lately here.
Stupid Ireland sent us our weather.
Yeah.
You can take it back. We don't want it. But we're back into it. So we are going to obviously hop over to the fantasy pod in a second here. So if you're going to come over to the fantasy corner, we'll see you there. If you're just one of those weird people that likes to tune in talking about just rugby, then we'll be back next week and we'll catch you on that side. But either way, we got quarterfinals for Europe coming up this weekend. Europe. And that be thankfully for Ben and I's sake, we won't be nearly as much rugby for our brains.
Right. Yeah, just that, some Super Rugby, and just focus on these things. No more internationals for a bit. We are good.
Yeah, we'll be good. So we will we'll catch you next week if we're not seeing you until then, and otherwise we'll see you over on the fantasy corner. Have a good one, everybody.
Later.
Cheers.